Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at some of these coins then, shall we? We'll have a look at a handful of coins that I've neglected for a while, and people have been asking me to look at them, so I'm going to have a look at them now. So I'm sorry that I've not got around to it, but I'm going to do it for you now, alright? So let's have a peep. First of all, let's have a look at Bitcoin, shall we? We just have to do it. So the deal is this, and it's simply this. We'll go to the daily. It's a little more easy to understand. Basically, you have this resistance trend line, the one that I talk about all the time, and it's now would appear to have flipped to support, but you can see it's been support and resistance for over 2 years. Anyway, if you watch this channel, you hear me talk about it all the time, so let's not go into too many details about that, but let's have a look at what's been going on today. So a massive, big move up. This is kind of what I was expecting. Overshot a little bit. I was thinking we were going to reach to the top of the Bollinger Band. This is where I was going to think we were going to go. The wicks expanded even more, and then even more overnight. Really over pushing it, but in all fairness, when we look at things like RSI, it was high, but even when in that big move, you know, it's been brought back down to quite a comfortable level. Same with the money flow index. Plenty of there is room for Bitcoin to move on this, and so long as we're above this trend line, that move can still take place. There's no reason for Bitcoin not to make another push up at this point now, but it is looking significantly weak. You can see the money's being drained out of alts all over the place, massive, and it's continuing to drain, which means that there's clearly a lot of profit taken, especially if Bitcoin's going down in value. People are jumping ship. They're thinking, right, Bitcoin is this high, if it comes down then it's only going to destroy alts even more. That is true, but I believe that we are probably going to see Bitcoin come down below this level, destroy alts even further, but not completely destroy itself, and then it'll be kind of like a repeat of what happened in March, really. Bitcoin's going to be at a high level, alts will be completely smashed, but then they will rise, and they will rise fast. I say fast, they'll rise over a period of months. They'll be pumping and dumping all over the place. It's not going to be quite the same as what we saw in, after after the March breakdown. The idea is to try and work out who's going to move and why would they move. So let's have a look at some of these coins then, shall we? Let's have a look at Matic. So we've not looked at Matic for a long time, and unfortunately there's not a great deal to look at. What we're looking at here is we're looking at a coin that is about to continue to make lower lows. I mean, I'm not saying don't buy this, I'm not saying buy it, I'm not saying don't buy it, that's not for me to say. But for me personally, if I were to buy Matic back again, I wouldn't be buying it down here. It's looking very droopy. I think, considering we've got this death cross here, we're below the what should have been a decent support level. Both of those areas broke down. This area has been quite strong for several months now. That between 1.85 cent and 2 cent, it's held up remarkably well, and even when we broke down beneath it, we tried to reclaim it, but now it's given up and we've got our death cross. So I would expect to see a Matic decline. Where was the price action around here? So we'll be generous, we'll measure it from that wick, about 30% or so from where we are right now. Bring us down to, actually, yeah, that kind of makes sense, because the 1.2 cent area is and has always been a great area to buy in for Matic. So I'll show you the reasons why. It basically corresponds to quite a few big pumps when we came down to those levels. In fact, one of the largest pumps we saw was around 1.2 cent. Oh, this is so annoying. I shouldn't make videos so late. I'm so too tired to be making videos. Here we go. So the 1.2 cent, this is roughly where it is. So I remember seeing now this was in a time when Bitcoin was bearish. I remember this exactly because this is one of the biggest killer trades I did on spot, and a lot of people on this channel can vouch for me. You can go to the Telegram. We were all trading Matic around this time. We were watching it consolidate around these levels and basically accumulate, and it was looking quite good. It was looking pretty good, and if you look at the MACD, it was above the 0 point. It was meandering, it wasn't looking bearish, but then we reclaimed several important moving averages. And then what happened here, even though this was like an accumulation zone where it was nice to buy in all of these levels because of the inevitable 4x that took place thereafter, Bitcoin dumped massively in this time here. Bitcoin just dumped completely, just massively dumped, and then that dump just allowed Matic to be bought back up at such a rapid rate that it caused this massive pump, and that again was 1.2 cent. And again, you can see here when we fell down, there was two major supports. The first one being this red line, which is still here, because I've not looked at Matic for a while, but it's still there. I thought that this would hold. Now, just for the record, I sold more or less at the top. We saw that this wasn't going any further, and on like day 3, I said that's it. Let's pull out this. It's not worth the risk. And just as well we did that, because that was significant. But when we hit that level, we bounced, and that from there to there, that wick, just on that wick alone, was 50%. That was a pretty good bounce, 50% bounce. And again, coming down to test this level here, 1.2 cent or thereabouts, and then when we hit that level, 73% move. So I would say, for me personally, I'm not saying I'm not going to buy Matic again. I could quite easily buy Matic, but I'm not going to be buying it at this level. At the rate it's going now, I'm pretty confident what we'll see is we will see a dump down to this level, and then we'll see some significant buys, and then that's where I would like to buy it. And between 1 cent and 1.2 cent would be a decent place to buy it. This area is like no man's land. Will they, won't they? Who knows what's going to happen. So we'll leave that one alone for the minute. But down this level here, yeah, very tempting. HarmonyOne. Let's have a look at this on a large scale. So not very appealing when you look at it like this. I mean, since it came out onto the market, it just dumped and dumped and dumped, and then the March dump. Now this became a very profitable trade for those who did it. I sailed it up for some other way, but look at that for a move. That was almost 11x if you were to have done it from top to bottom. Like, I don't think anyone would have done that, but they could have done that. If they did, that would have been epic. Now, what's going to happen now? Well, it doesn't look like it wants to do that right now, does it? It looks like it wants to continue to go down. So we've got, again, a death cross like we have on most of these altcoins, especially these small caps and DeFi coins. So we're likely to come back down. The strong areas for this, if we don't bounce from pretty much where we are right now with these two wicks out, we're talking 0.004, so we'll just call it 4, okay, so 0.004. If we don't bounce from there, then it will be pretty nasty, because that was the bottom area of here before it broke down significantly. Sorry, I'm getting messages all over the place. That was these areas of these bottoms before the March breakdown, and if it doesn't hold there, then it's a bad deal. So you could take a risk and try and buy it down at that level, just below 4. But considering there's a death cross, I'm not really feeling it. Let's measure that death cross from the price action from roughly about here. So to be honest, let's have a look. Again, it's really risky. This is likely to come down more, I think. But in that 3 zone is probably a nice enough area to think about buying it at. But personally, not for me right now. No, not for me. Will it have another run? Possibly. But at the moment, what are we looking at here? We're looking at a dump, a pump, and a massive dump. And if we were to measure out from this area here all the way down to where we are today, that's like a year and a half's worth of price action, 86% down. It's not good, is it? Let's have a look at some other terrible investments. SXP, again, this is what happens when you have good promotion, but a product that's not quite ready for it. Earlier on this year, this coin was trading at around 18 cent. 18 cent this year. It was trading at 18 cent this year. It moved all the way up to $5 in 1 year. That's a phenomenal move. There's going to be a lot of people taking profit on that, which is basically what's happening now. It's also one of Binance's little toys, so you can short this, and I imagine the shorts have been stacking for a long time. So the pressure for this to continue to go down is harder and harder and harder, and it's just going to continue to go down. Look, the MACD hasn't even faced up to reality yet. It's only just made its cross, a negative cross, despite all of this. So I would be staying well away from this. Don't be tempted to buy it for the bounces, because you might get stuck in a really bad trade. There could be this could have, from this price level where we are right now, there's no reason why it can't come down to 60 or 50 cent or lower than that. So I would leave this one the hell alone. Again, it's not looking very good for any of these altcoins at all, to be honest with you. Let's have a look at Chainlink. Okay, so Chainlink, this is one of the stronger ones, obviously. We know that. Look at this chart. Absolute beauty of a chart. This is the sort of thing that you want to be trading. Look at the state of that. That's a brilliant chart. This could be the real Bitcoin in many ways. This could be it. But not right this second, I don't believe. We are holding up quite well. It's still in an uptrend, despite everything that's been going on. We're still in an uptrend. So above the center of the Bollinger Band on the daily, being supported right on it, right on the money there. But if we break down from there, then we're looking at areas of 9.5 cents, and then perhaps maybe even breaking down to about 9.5 cents. I've got shit coins in my head. $9.5. But could even come down to test a 10 exponential. So we're talking about lows of around about $9. It could spike lower than that. Obviously, we've had a big breakdown from this parabolic top, but that's what Chainlink does. And it did a parabolic move, broke down by 63%. That's fine. Look at the state of the chart. The chart is a great chart, and we liked to look at this chart when it looked like this. That doesn't look too dissimilar to what it looks like right now, does it? Really, if you think about it, this is where it moved all the way up to $5. Let's look at it like this. Put things into perspective a little bit. This is when it was trading around these levels before we had some of these big dumps. I mean, it's a rare beauty of a coin. Look, and then it just consolidates massively consolidates. Look at that. Look at that. From there to there. From this top here, where people are getting very excited, all the way down to this level here, 68% down from that level to there. And then if you had bought it back down here, you would be absolutely loving it right now. So personally, I think this is one of those coins really for if there's a long-term hold at any of these levels really for Chainlink. There's no reason why this isn't going to keep going up. The chart suggests that that's what it wants to do. It's not saying anything other than I'm just going to keep going up and I'll continue to go up indefinitely, but not without giant dumps. You look at this in comparison to this, or to this, or even I suppose to Matic, which doesn't look like any of these things really. It looks like an erratic heartbeat. But that's basically what it looks like, and then we have something like that. I mean, you don't need to be able to read charts to notice that there's a big difference, and to see that there's something in this one, despite its extreme volatility. It seems to want to continue to go up all the time. So, but where's it going to go now? I think it's likely to come down. I think it's all coming down. I think Bitcoin's going to drive the prices of all of these things down. These DeFi coins and these small caps are going to get destroyed. I think we're going to see Chainlink down below $10. And the good thing about that though is that it gives us chance to buy lower. And let's look at it like that. It gives us chance to buy extremely good assets lower. I'm not saying buy any of these things, definitely not. But what I would say is, if you're not into margin trading, then you should get yourself onto it. There's a platform that I've been using called Bityard, where you can basically long, short, crypto and traditional markets all in crypto. And tomorrow they're doing no fees on any trade with Chainlink. So I know a lot of us are jumping on board of that because fees all add up. So we're all on board that. So I'll leave a link below in the description. Get yourself signed up to Bityard. It's a rare beast, especially because you've got no trading fees. Do you know how much a trading fee would be for me? If I did $500 at a 50x, I'll be looking at paying $20. So I need to recoup $20 before I've even made profit. If the trade's not going right for me, and I see it, and I have to call it a day, that's $20 just thrown away just for opening the trade. You don't have to worry about that. You can scalp the hell out of it, out of the market when you've got no fees whatsoever. So get yourself involved in that. They have no fees every day. No, every Friday is a no fee day, and this week is Chainlink. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice evening and stay safe, because it's pretty deadly out there at the moment.